The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Glenn in Massachusetts. Hey, Glenn, what's going on?
You know what is good for us is Tom O'Brien providing an unbiased source of information for us investors. You don't have an agenda. It's just to cut through everything and to give us the facts. I want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. It's a TGIF Friday, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Release the need to be right. When you believe something, you assume you're right. You may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. Let go of the need to defend your position. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 100, NASDAQ off 34, S&P's off 10, gold contract down $14, traded $1,492 an ounce. Silver up 35 cents at $35.15. Platinum down $4 at $1,766 an ounce. Copper up 3 pennies at $4 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $99.35. Bonds up 25 ticks at 124.19. Dollar index up 54 ticks, trading out at 75.96. Euro off 14 at 141. Yen down 8 at 80.86. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have out here? We get up to 1350, can't hold the price. You close out at 1337. You did 900 million out here versus the 950 of yesterday. This little baby is basically building cars, folks. It's, let's see. Yeah, you're inside. Okay, so this is what you have. You're inside the February 18th time frame. And that's crucial. That number, folks, is 1338.91. That is on the weekly. Okay, so what you have is this. Once you're inside of that, what does it set up? It sets up going right after the low of that swing, which is 1301 to 1249 on your S&P. We go over and we take a look at the Dow Industrials. Dow really flat. Well, it's down $100, but we were up 100 yesterday. Dow still has to get back inside the 12,389 to get into lower price. I expect it will start making its way down there next week. The first level is going to be the 12,450 that it has to get back inside to get into that swing point. NASDAQ Composite. Now, this little baby, came back with some juice. This little baby got back with 1.9 billion. Yesterday, it did 2 billion. It's an inside day, meaning you try to get up and at them at that 28.61 level. Couldn't handle that. Closes out at the 28.28 level. That level, folks, also puts it under the February 18th time frame, which sets up not only the gap that was left over from the 18th of April, but it sets up that lower price point out there with the 26.69. Now, what is it all about? The good old U.S. dollar, folks, okay, is basically, refusing to go down. And the whole world, of course, is bearish the dollar, except Tom O'Brien, who's bullish the dollar. And bottom line is that what you're going to see here, folks, is that we came off that bottom of 72.86. You're out there at 75.97 right now. You closed there. With that did 2 different things now, folks. What it did is this. When we came off those lows May 5th, you come out with conviction. We had conviction today. You get 45,000 contracts today. But what it also did is got inside the larger range of 75.50. What that sets up is that, 82, well, the first number is 79.29, and then 82 is game. And this the baby is game in spades, folks. If you missed me this morning on CNBC, I was on at 6:10 Eastern Time. You can check that out over at TFNN. Just hit Tiger TV. It's on channel 30. No, not 30. 03. Channel 3. So over at TFNN, you hit Tiger TV in the navigation bar. You can hit 03 and you can check that out. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at the bond market. What you have was bonds. You know, bonds, we've been watching bonds. Bonds got over that 124 level that we've been watching for a while. That was the 123.22 to be exact. Now, what does it do out here today? Well, looks to me what you have is this. We actually start pushing again into 124.25. You hit 125 out here. We hit that today with 380,000 versus 455. That setup, folks, it's a big one. And what you have is that if we take a look at multiple ABC structures here, it's approximately another 6 points that would bring it into $1.30. That is a monster move, folks. That bond goes up to $1.30. That's saying, you know, bottom line is that, number one, people are going to be running into the bond market. Why do they run into the bond market? What they end up doing, folks, when the S&Ps, Dow, NASDAQ go red, that's where they like to run. And commodities, let's take a look at the commodity market out here today. You had coffee off 2%, cocoa was 1, wheat was 1, soybeans was 1, gold was 1, cattle was 1. You had lean hogs was 0.5%. When the dollar goes south, bottom line, it pushes and keeps huge amounts of pressure on commodities, number one, on the S&P, on the Dow, on the NASDAQ, right across the board. We go take a look at across the board. Last night in Asia, it was mixed in Asia. Asia's been coming down hard. In Europe today, Europe could not hold price. Europe had been up about 1%, end up being down about 0.5%. To Spain was down 1.25%. Apple, yeah, you know, good old someone took a bite out of Apple today, no doubt about it. Intraday out here, what you have is this. Now, Apple's volume is going to have to expand here. What you do have is this. The lows out there are 320. They want to get tested. We are at 340 right now. But intraday, someone unloaded on this baby, and they unloaded good. The unloading took place at 1520. And let me just see. I can find that trade. 1520. This will be pretty. There she is. It'll be pretty easy, actually. Well, 1520, 1559, 1520, 15. There she is. Now, this is interesting. So check this out. That first trade that actually brought Apple down, that wasn't even that big a trade. It was only 3,800 shares. Well, 3,800 shares of $300 stock is a big one, but we had a lot bigger ones after that. What you had after the 1520 trade, 1556, you had 44 unload, 1559, 4,000, 4,000, 6,900. Oh, I see. The first identification, that's interesting. The first identification was right at 3 o'clock. 301. That's the first number. 301 was 6,900. Bottom line is that you get a seller in Apple. We'll see how it comes into these lower price points. And Apple has right now 3 lower highs and 3 lower lows. What that sets up, folks, number one, is that it wants to come back to this 320 area. We'll see whether it breaks down at that area. If Apple does break down at that area, Apple will be at 297 in about a heartbeat, folks. Absolute heartbeat. We go over to the silver market, and silver, folks, of course, went parabolic. Silver did a 1 to 2 ABC structure on the way up. This is going to have some nasty consequences next week. Why? We've built 5 days of cause right now. You know, silver, first leg went from 49.50 down to 33. That is one heck of an A to B structure. We got up to the 39 level. Silver can basically be at $26 next week. You're at 35. That in itself is just one huge move. Now, gold hasn't done that yet. Gasoline's done it. Oil's done it. Gold hasn't done it. Gold is not immune to that, by the way, folks, either. And what I suspect you're going to see is this. If you look at the margin requirements inside silver right now, they're trading about 12%. Gold is trading 4% margin requirements. That doesn't fly, folks. And when I'm talking about what doesn't fly, all you're going to need is one day with high volatility, and the margin requirement will come in. So let me just walk you through what happens in the future market margin-wise. What happens in the future market, number one, which I don't do. In fact, if you get The Art of Time in the Trade, the Ultimate Trading Mastery System, my new book, you'll see I do tiger scaling in there. And we scale just the opposite of what many folks do in the future market. But this is what they do. You buy one contract. Let's say I'm going to do 35, 40, and 45. That if you're scaling up, because what does happen is that your account goes up, so you can put the trade on. But this is the most dangerous thing in the world. So watch what happens, folks. And this is a real example that happened, that probably happened to many people. We go back a couple weeks. At this point, well, you know, if you actually go back even 2 months, folks, the silver contract used to be able to carry about about 160,000 for $6,000. Bottom line went up to 14,500. So we're going to start out at that level. You buy one contract at $35, 14,500 you put up. The silver goes to 40. You buy another one, 14,500. Stock goes to 45. You buy another one, 14,000. Two of them were 14,500. Stock goes to 45. Now you have approximately a $10,000 profit. Let's just say that you bought the next one at 45. Now you have 10,000 profit. You're in great shape. You intraday, what ends up happening, the exchange comes out and says, you know what? Right now, this is factual how this happened. Right now, what's happening, we're going up to 21,600. Two different things end up happening. At 21,600, you have a $10,000 profit. However, the account right now is in a margin call. ASAP, just like that. What ends up happening? Of course, if you're in tight accounts like that, what happens? You have to sell. In the futures market, folks, you get that acceleration up. Bye-bye. See ya. Don't want to be ya. All that has to happen then also, right? You started at 35. You're at 40. Closed at 45. And let's just pull it up. I mean, the baby ended up going to 50, right? We were at, it was $49. So you're at $49.50 on the 28th. You were at $49.21 on the 29th. They went up both those days, by the way. But then they basically really crushed it on the 5th. What does it silver do? That was Sunday night. $48 down to $42. Bye-bye. 6 contracts. $6, 3 contracts is 18,000 south. You have to end up selling all of them, folks. Not all of them. 2 of them. But bottom line is going down. You better sell all of them. That's what wipes out markets. The gold margin's not going to stay that low, folks. We're going to be right back.
Great Basin.